New Zealand's dairy and farming sector is the backbone of the country's economy. It's one of the biggest income generators. But here's the challenge: there simply aren't enough local workers to keep up with the demand. Employers are now being encouraged that if they can't find workers locally, they should start searching internationally. And that means opportunities are opening up for people like you, especially if you're physically fit and ready to take on hands-on work. The good news is, these jobs do not require a degree, and in many cases, not even IELTS. And if this is your first time here, kindly tell me where you're watching from in the comments. I would love to personally welcome you. Now, before I break this down, let me say this: I know many of you watching are searching for real opportunities to move abroad, not just theories. That's why in this video, I'm going to give you the details in a way you can actually take action. And remember, I always include job links and resources in the description, so make sure you check that after watching. Let's start with why the demand is so high. Agriculture, especially dairy farming, is one of New Zealand's most important industries. Milk and dairy products make up a massive share of their exports. But here's the issue: local workers often avoid these jobs because they're physically demanding and located in rural areas. To keep the industry running, New Zealand farms are now relying more and more on overseas workers. So, what kind of roles are we talking about? Here are some of the most common. Dairy farm assistant, helping with milking, feeding livestock, and general farm duties. General farm worker, handling animals, repairing fences, and maintaining equipment. Tractor or machinery operator, driving and maintaining farm equipment. Seasonal workers, especially during calving season or peak farming periods. These are hands-on jobs where experience is useful, but in many cases, training is provided on the job. Now let's talk about visas, because this is the part that makes everything possible. Many farm and dairy jobs fall under New Zealand's Accredited Employer Work Visa, AEWV. This visa allows employers who are accredited by Immigration New Zealand to directly sponsor overseas workers. And here's something important: farm roles are included in New Zealand's shortage lists, which means your chances of getting a sponsored role are higher if you apply correctly. Eligibility requirements. Who can apply? You don't need a degree. For many of these roles, you don't need IELTS, though you'll be expected to have basic English for safety and communication. What matters most is being physically fit, because the work can be demanding, from lifting equipment to working outdoors for long hours. And finally, you need to be willing to live and work in rural areas where these farms are located. Alright, so how do you actually apply? Here are some reliable job websites where farm and dairy opportunities are listed. farmjobs.co.nz, workhere.co.nz, trademe.co.nz/jobs, seek.co.nz, newzealandfarmsource.co.nz. I will include all the job links and resources in the description, so make sure you check that after watching. When applying, make sure your CV highlights any past physical or farm-related work, even if it was informal. Your willingness to relocate to rural New Zealand. And if you have machinery or animal handling skills, definitely showcase that. Tip: tailor your CV to each job, mirror the keywords in the job description so the ATS picks you first. So, here's the bottom line: if you've been looking for a chance to move abroad without a degree or IELTS, New Zealand's dairy and farm sector might be your entry point. These jobs are real, They're in demand, and with visa sponsorship through accredited employers, you can turn this into a pathway to not just work, but also long-term residence in New Zealand. Everything you need, application links, job sites, and official resources, is right there in the video description. And remember to comment where you're watching from, especially if this is your first time here. I would love to personally welcome you. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe and turn on notifications bell for more updates on working and relocating abroad. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.